Okay, today we're going to talk about speciation. So what is speciation? By definition, speciation is an evolutionary process that by a new biological species arise. The Dr. F. Cook was the first biologist in the world to term the coin speciation for the splitting of linkages, as known as cladogenesis, as opposed to anagenesis or phyletic evolution. Okay, number terms. Genetic draft, no matter genetic draft is a major or minor contributor to speciation, is the subject matter we're going to talk about today. There are usually three geographic modes in the nature of speciation. They are allopatric, sympatric, and parapatric speciations.
The first type of speciation we'll talk about is allopatric. Allopatric speciation occurs when there is a rare dispersal event. This could be a species going to an island off in the ocean. It could be when mountains form. And when this happens, what we see is the founder effect.
The founder effect is when a portion of a population finds a new area, which reduces genetic variation and allows for this population to possibly evolve into a new species. The process by which this can happen is genetic drift, which occurs when the makeup of the gene pool changes, which can cause new genes to be favorable. Over time, these favorable genes may become a guiding force in creating a new species.
An example of allopatric speciation would be sea turtles in the Galapagos. Back when sea turtles were in South America, there was a rare dispersal event where some of the sea turtles went to the Galapagos, and over time, they became a new species.
Two species are in the same environment. However, they diverge because they choose different niches, which then causes genetic drift. An example of this is in fruit flies. The same fruit fly may choose two different fruits, which could cause reproductive isolation, thus divergence and potentially the formation of two new species.
Parapatry is the relationship between organisms whose ranges don't necessarily overlap, but are adjacent to each other. In parapatric speciation distribution, it sometimes causes a gradient, which causes an unequal gene flow and causes speciation into two separate species. The Ensenada salamander mate along this mountain range right here, but when they come back around and the two sister species meet, they no longer are able to mate because of the genetic separation between the two sister species.
Today we have talked about speciation, which is how new species are biologically formed. We've gone over three different forms of speciation, including allopatric, sympatric, and parapatric speciation. Allopatric speciation being where the species are completely separated and thus reproductively isolated, and sympatric speciation being where species are overlapping, however they choose a different environmental niche. And then parapatric speciation being in the middle of that is where the species generally border each other but don't necessarily overlap each other. And hopefully this all comes together to help you understand the great circle of life.